but it's not that really potent on the nose. But the palate is a whole nother story. So no doubt this one is specifically made for the US market. So yeah, it's very, very silky, very smooth, but there's a lot going on with it. Welcome to another episode of Whiskies. So in this episode of Whiskies, we're going to review the Balvenie 14-year single malt Scotch, Caribbean Cask. Now this is the special edition. What makes it so special? Well, let's find out in this episode of Whiskies. All right, so like we mentioned here, we're going to review a Balvenie, however you pronounce it. It is a Speyside whiskey. In Speysides or Balvenies or Macallans, you're going to get like those sweet and sour notes. It's going to be very aromatic, very mouth coating, maybe a little nutty. But generally speaking, you're not going to get a lot of peat in these whiskeys because this is Speyside, so they don't do a lot of peated whiskeys. And so we're going to find out exactly how this one particularly tastes. I wanted to review this one. Initially, I wasn't going to review it, but when I tried it, I said it definitely deserves to be reviewed on this channel. I mostly review bourbons, American whiskeys, but I do love my scotches. I just don't think people will watch on this particular channel my scotch reviews. And I'm telling you, this one I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed. Now, on the nose on this one, we're going to get right into the review. It's not really potent on the nose. What I get on the nose is some honey. You really peer in there, maybe a little bit of pineapple, and maybe some coffee. Smell like some coffee grains, but it's not that really potent on the nose. But the palate is a whole nother story. I've already had it, like I mentioned before. And of course, I got the half pint. I think it's only special because it's a small bottle, but I don't know if there's anything special about it. It does say here on the box, it says a finely crafted special edition packed of the Balvenie Caribbean Cask exclusively created for the US market. So no doubt this one is specifically made for the US market. So I guess they made it to curve toward the US palate. And it's finished in the rum cask. So let's go ahead and find out how it tastes. So the initial sip is very sweet for it. You get like some banana foster on the palate with maybe a little cayenne pepper. That malt comes through. There's some ginger beer. A ginger component, but almost like a root beer that kind of follows through on that one. Yeah, it's very, very silky, very smooth, but there's a lot going on with it. That's what I appreciate about this one. So if you're a bourbon drinker, I would hate to recommend this to you if you don't like scotches. So if you're a bourbon drinker that appreciates scotch, I think you would absolutely enjoy this one. But if you're a bourbon drinker that don't like scotch, this may not be your introductory scotch. This is for those who really appreciate that malty, that grainy, it's vanilla forward, but you get more of that peppery, and it's kind of cayenne pepper, not your spices that you get in bourbons, but it's more robust. It's really complex. You do get a little bit of the oak in the back. One thing I like about scotches is that you can get older whiskeys that's not oak forward. And the reason for that is because a lot of their whiskeys are aged in used American oak barrels. Now this one was aged in, I believe, an American oak barrel, but it also was finished in a rum cask. So they cast the particular barrel and then they finished it in that. They aged it in a used American oak barrel for 14 years. So at the back of it, you get those little oak tannins, but it's not overdone. It's not in your face. And Scotches does well with that because it's already been used. So all of those tannins have been released in bourbons. go back into it. It's just really a very, very delicious whiskey. Very well done. It do taste like some banana Foster, some caramel in there. You do get a little bit of that cayenne pepper. There is some ginger beer or some root beer notes that you get in there. It is a little spicy, but it's not overpowering. It's only 85 proof, I believe. Let's see here. It is. Let's find out the proof. And so it's 43% alcohol. And yeah, it's delicious. I thoroughly enjoy it. That is so good. This is a special scotch, believe it or not, because it's so complex. Would I recommend it? I will only recommend it for those who enjoy single malts, not for bourbon drinkers. If you enjoy bourbon and scotches, I would recommend this. But if you're trying to find something that would bridge you over to enjoying scotch, I don't think this one is for you. But this one is for your experienced scotch drinkers, in my humble opinion. Truly phenomenal. Highly recommended. And thank you for joining another episode of Whiskies. And now you all have a beautiful day. And like we always say, please always drink moderately and responsibly. Y'all have a good day. Cheers, by the way.